While many of us are looking at the deep, dark conditions of Cassie and Sean Combs' relationship as we're all going through the trial, I definitely think there's a lot of esoteric, ritualistic, and eerie elements that this relationship has. And for those who don't know, I am a podcaster. I concentrate on a lot of spiritualism, past myths, rituals, and even conspiracies. I have read Sean Combs' chart, his birth chart, many of times. I have not really looked at Cassie's. One of the things that stands out to me about their energetic alignment, if there is some past life trauma and bond that has linked these two together, if there is some type of final karmic ending that Cassie is bringing to him for past events in certain areas, I think it shows. So I'm not even going to get too deep into the charts, but I am going to talk about just the zodiacs. So Sean Combs is a Scorpio. And for Scorpios, don't get freaked out or anything, but Sean Combs is very concentrated on areas of transformation, darkness, and areas of rituals that seem hidden. So a lot of secrets. What's also interesting with some Scorpios and heavy Scorpio placements is we see that there's an emotional base to it. We also see that it is an area where they're very obsessive. Scorpios have been known and certain times with a lot of Scorpion aspects, or when certain planets are in Scorpio, we see that jealousy, obsession, and certain traits really come to surface. What we also see with this relationship is he has a moon in Virgo. While we don't know what his actual birthday is, we're going to assume that he is a moon in Virgo off of the date of his birth. What we know about Cassie Ventura is that she is a Virgo. She is a Virgo with a Taurus moon. It is also believed that her birth path is 4, meaning her life path is number 4, which is also the same as Sean Combs. So instinctively and intuitively, I feel that there is some type of connection that is happening to them because of debts from the past, karmic alignments from the past, and closures that need to occur in this life path for their souls to finally separate. And what's interesting about the Virgo is the Virgo has a lot of characteristics that's around analyzation. We also see where people are deep diving into certain thoughts. The Virgo element also brings area of 2 dualities. The Virgo is known for ruling not just the energy of that Mercury element, where we see that there's some areas of messenger and also the area of health and wellness, but also the energy of Chiron. Chiron is centered all in about the energies of healing, known as the wounded warrior. As Cassie is implementing that wounded warrior and she is breaking free from that energy. What's also interesting with Virgo having that area of duality, a lot of times people will reference Virgo energy as the Virgin Mary or Mary Magdalene or whatever her name is. I'm not very good at pronunciation, but that energy of innocence versus the dark feminine of the area of the divine, the area of being or the area of complication, where people will look at the duality of how women are seen on one element of having to have this upright persona, this persona that is supposed to be domesticated, working in the kitchen, taking care of the children, very ritualist based, but also that energy of the dark feminine is often shunned. And we see that as they talk about certain text messages that Cassie has shared. We have to remember that this relationship, while it was very abusive, there was also elements of it where at sometimes she did have love for this relationship. She did have love for this man, and she probably did fear the exposure of that other duality of the coming out that he would play on, showing she wanted this is what she liked, da 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 da. We also see how in a lot of their FOs, they talk about certain aspects that are very bonding to two people. Ingesting urine creates an energy of a bond. Menstrual bleeding, how FOs occurred during menses, that creates an area of the bond with not just the woman, but the men involved. The area of dominance with certain elements of this magic. All of these traits are considered very centered around the energies of the dark hidden shadows and the areas of control, bonds, and domination. But by Cassie speaking her story and clearing away, exposing who Sean Combs is in the energy of the Scorpio, the energy of, some might even say, the devil, the energy of how deviant practices can be covered by music, the energy of how fame can be succeeded when doing some of the most darkest things are being exposed. And I definitely think this is the ending of their connection for this path and many paths to continue.